maybe tonic clonic seizure,
Okay.
or just tonic seizure or clonic seizure. What I mean by tonic clonic is that a child who maybe more than 5 years or even less than 5 doesn't have temperature, no normal temperature, and yet has this kind of tonic, stronger tone in the muscles.
Okay.
So there may be contraction and there may be of movement of the limbs,
Would be
and
very
then after that there may be clonic. Then the body begins to shake.
Right.
Okay, so that is a tonic clonic. So the initial contractions and reflection of, and then later on jerky, shaky movement.
Okay.
And as we said, it's usually from the age of 6 months to about 5 years. After 5 years, I mean, they are not likely to pick these up. What you need to understand is that there is no danger. There is no real danger, as in going to affect your child's brain to a large extent,
Okay.
as in going to affect his intelligence or cognitive function.
Okay.
It's not usually affected. So when a child has that, you as a mother just know that the limbs for a few minutes, and then usually it calms down. Before you get to the hospital, the child is sleeping.
Yeah.
They get into what we call the post-ictal state. After convulsion, they just sleep.
They're exhausted.
They are exhausted, and then they become sleepy. Now, what you need to do when you have such a situation is, please don't try and put things in the child's mouth. They think that the child might bite that, so I have to put things. Don't try to do that.
Right.
Just make sure that when you see the jerking, if the child is on a hard surface, the child is likely to hitting the head
comfortable
on the ground. So put the child on some soft surface, somewhere comfortable, and place the child on their side.
That's right.
Don't put the child back, maybe tongue be rolled back. So put the child in the recovery position, put the child on their side. Don't attempt to put anything in the mouth. The child may, with the contraction, may end up swallowing something,
That's right.
or maybe aspirate something into the lungs. So don't attempt to put anything there. Again, because of the temperature, somebody may try to, if there's a bathtub, let me put the child in the water, and then cool. You may end up with drowning your own child, because at that time everything is involuntary. The child may eventually get a lot more fluids into the nostrils, into the lungs. You cause more problems. So do not try to put the child in the shower or in a bathtub and pour water over the child. Just keep the child stable and watch the child
somewhere where they can't hurt
exactly
themselves. That's it.
Not to hurt them. Within a few minutes it just goes off. Now if it so happens that the seizure doesn't occur again, then it's a simple febrile seizure, or a simple febrile convulsion. Sometimes before the child wakes up from the sleep, another one may occur again.
Okay.
Now this may becoming complex. So once the child goes to sleep, your duty then is to try and get the child to the hospital.
Right.
What would be my job is to find out why the child has the temperature.
Yes.
What kind of infection? Is it a urinary tract infection
Right.
the child has? In a setting, for example, because we are here in Africa, we have mosquitoes. A lot of time, malaria.
Malaria is a cause,
we
right.
give the children very high temperature, and that could be the reason why the child has temperature.
Okay.
It could be other things. The doctor want to check the ears of the child to see if there's an ear infection. We want to check the throat and see if the tonsils are inflamed, or check the neck if there's meningitis.
Right.
So
the main treatment then, or the main, even you doing a diagnosis, would to be find the cause of the temperature.
The cause of the temperature is what we need to find out. So once we find out, we're going to treat that, and then hopefully it will subside. But anytime if it should happen again, some people get recurrences. Again, it's also known that if you have a child with a family history of a close relative who also once had a febrile convulsion, so yours is to just keep the child stable. Don't attempt to, as I said, put things in the mouth. Just get the child to the hospital. And if the child gets to the hospital and the seizures still continue, what we do is probably to sedate the child, give some muscle relaxants, or
them to relax and sleep.
To sleep, and then
while you do your investigations,
it abates. And so then we investigate. If we have to investigate for meningitis, we do the lumbar puncture thing. Do take samples, blood samples, check for malaria parasites, do everything possible to find out why the child is having the convulsion, and then we treat appropriately.
Okay. Now there are various ailments which are similar to this. I mean, we've talked about epilepsy already, and within our country, especially if they don't have access to a lot of healthcare or education about these kind of things, they may actually construe these kind of fits or ailments as something else, i.e. spiritual, and all the rest. So I just want you to go through once again what parents should do in this situation where the children are having these convulsions, because I would hate to hear of, you know, a child being hurt or being even restrained, you know, while they're having a fit because the parent is not aware about what's happening. And obviously, with the eyes rolling back, some people perceive this as being demonic in any way. So please, once again, just for the parents out there or whoever is going to be looking after children, so that they can be aware.
Okay. So for those of us out there, I mean, a lot of times what we notice is that when the kids are brought into the hospital with having convulsions, they usually say esrakano, or the guys will say mwe mole, or I think so, mwe mole, and esrakano. The kids are brought smelling garlic. They would have, and I keep asking, I mean, is the garlic so quick in reach, or is it always in the house that they, and garlic all over? And I don't know what scientific evidence there is to say that it's the garlic that takes the kids out of the convulsion. It is not the garlic. Febrile convulsions, they don't last long. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, occasionally may be very long. What you need to do when you have a child convulsing, keep the child, hold the child, keep the child safe. Take the child off any hard surface because the fits are involuntary. They may be throwing legs, jerky, head maybe.
So
jerky.
Would it be advisable for a parent, I mean, because if for instance, I'm holding this child and they're convulsing, maybe someone's natural instinct would be to hold them tighter. Would that be good?
No, don't hold them tighter.
Release
because you're going to compress the chest and everything.
Right.
Rather place the child down on a soft surface. Place the child on their side, not on their back or not on their front, on their side, so that even if there's any fluid in the mouth, it can just come out.
Right.
If you put the child on the back, fluids and this may accumulate in the mouth and may go back and may not go through the esophagus, but rather the trachea into the lungs, and that will be another problem, aspiration pneumonia. So you want to place the child on their side. Do not try to put the child in a bathtub or throw the child in the shower and be pouring water. A lot more fluids to go into the child. So these are the things. If the room is very, very warm, you need to open the windows for air to go through. The child may be having a lot of clothes on. One thing you also need to do is to get the clothes off, because that may also contribute to the child becoming warmer. So you take off the clothes and then just observe the child and make sure you're holding the child not tight. But for the convulsion to cease. Once it ceases,
then you seek your medical help.
That's right.
Dr. Bote, once again, thank you so much for coming in and helping us with our medical issues. And hopefully you've learned something out there about febrile convulsions. And like Dr. Bote said, please don't panic. The main thing is to make sure that your child or the child that you're taking care of is comfortable until the convulsion is over. And then obviously go and see your nearest health professional. Once again, thank you to Lipton Tea for bringing us this particular segment.